It's mechanical, but they are trying to preserve a relationship. So they understand the value of a customer. Even if you don't do anything, maybe you don't have big money, that 50 naira they are collecting from you every transaction you're doing. Go and check their bank statements. When they collect from how many people in Nigeria, it's big money. So that's why they value the relationship and they keep oiling it. Some people, that text from GT Bank is the only one they will get that day for their birthday. And they will remember that, no, GT Bank send me birthday message. Just for that alone, they will continue working with them. They won't move to another bank. So it's very important that you really nurture those relationships so that you get the best out of them.
Have you ever considered that maybe the relationships you are nurturing are supposed to serve as the staircase to your financial success in the future? Today we'll be discussing how relationships play vital roles to experiencing financial freedom, or like I like to say it, put money in your pockets. I won't be doing that alone as we'll be sharing practical tips. We'll be doing it with somebody that is a financial coach who believes in impacting the lives of people and helping them live the life that God has called them to live. But before we do that, I would like you to meet our guest.
Swanu grew up in the city of Port Harcourt on the southern coast of Nigeria, where he currently resides with his family. He was privileged to receive a fine education from the prestigious Rugby School in Warwickshire, UK. From there, he went on to study chemical engineering at Imperial College London, where he received both undergraduate and master's degrees. A man of many hats, Swanu is a contrarian financial writer, investment fund manager, and he currently serves as director of SME Institute. His overarching purpose is to raise kingdom stewards on every continent. Swanu sets out to achieve this through his transformative agency, Dominion Coach. He uses his God-given talents, time, and treasures to find, teach, disciple, and equip as many people that dare to believe they can dominate a niche on this vast planet. Swanu is a sign that points the way. He does this by stewarding the knowledge and resources he has been entrusted with, influencing the people in his circles positively, giving generously, nurturing and equipping the next generation of new kings. Swanu can be contacted on social media at Swanu Money.
Thank you so much, sir, for making our time to be here today. Really, really glad to have you. So I would like to ask you, first of all, we know you have a book already called The Financial House. What was the inspiration for you to write that?
First of all, for inviting me to your wonderful show. The inspiration for The Financial House was really discussions I've had over time with friends, colleagues, young people generally. And I noticed that a lot of them were struggling with finances. And somehow, whenever I talked to them, I always circled back, to the scriptures and found something in the scriptures that would help their particular situation. So over time, I realized that maybe this information is something that I could package differently and help more people than the few people that I was having one-on-one conversations with. But I think what really made me write the book was when COVID struck, I was at home, I didn't have to go into work, and I just got this impression in my spirit that this is the time to gather all your thoughts, experiences, and put it in a book in such a way that anybody who picks it up can really gain one or two things that would help them on their financial journey.
Okay. Well, I've read the book. In fact, the book was the first book I read with my wife immediately after our wedding. Yes. Yeah. And I've been reading that book every other year because, every time you read the book, you have something to learn from the book. Yeah. But, so I'm with the book. I'm with my copy of the book. So in chapter 1, You defined that there are 5 dimensions to wealth. You specified that there is the physical, which is your health, there's the financial, and you use the structure of a building. And the physical is like, the walls that hold it together. The money itself is the roof. But you also defined that relationships serves as a staircase to that. How does that connect really with money?
Okay, so I try to use the analogy of the house just to get people to really understand the different facets of wealth. Because a lot of times people just think about wealth and they say it's money, right? But there's so much more to wealth than just money.
Okay.
And so relationships, just like you made reference to, the staircases and even the doors of the building. Because without staircases, you can't go from one level to another. You will just remain at the ground floor. And then without doors and possibly windows, you can't go in and out of different parts of a building. And so I liken that to your relationships. So when you came into this world, for example, as a baby, you started consuming money, whether you knew it or not. People were buying Pampers and all the different things, there were food and all of that. Your journey with money started when you came into this world. And really, it is your relationships that enabled you to enjoy those things. As you now grew and you now began to take responsibility for your life, you realize that you didn't just sit in your house and then money came to you. Somebody gave you money, either because you did something for them, or because you were good to them, or they loved you, or something. It has to do with relationships. And the more you are adept at keeping those relationships and growing them, it's akin to climbing the different staircases and then also opening the right doors and windows in your life.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's really where the analogy is coming from.
Okay, so for you now, do you have any personal or professional relationships that you have played that role as staircase for your life?
Yeah, okay, so let me give this story. I'll try and make it short. I remember when I finished school, I was back in the UK, and a man just showed up. I went to my friend's house, and so her dad's friend was there. And he said, young man, what are you doing? I hear you just finished from school. I'm like, yeah, why aren't you coming back to Nigeria? I said, no, I'm not coming back to Nigeria. I was doing something in the UK. So he said, please, when you come back to Nigeria, give me a call. We need young people like you. I just ignored that conversation because I didn't.
Nigeria was not in your plan at the
time. But something happened along the line. 2 years after, I decided that I was done with the UK. I want to come back. So I came back to serve in Nigeria. And in the middle of my service year, I was now start thinking about what am I going to do after serving. I remember that conversation. So I put a call to the man. Luckily, his number went through. He said, you are back in Nigeria? I said, yes. Is this your number? Yes. He sent my number to an HR person in a multinational oil company. The woman called me. By then, I went for one conference like that in Abuja, oil and gas conference. I was doing that as part of my youth service.
Okay.
So the woman called me, I have an interview. No. I said, I'm not in Port Harcourt. I didn't apply to this job. I didn't apply. Now, the woman said, whenever you come back, call me. I called her. She sent me straight to what you call a recruitment day. So this is not first round interview. It's like the final selection day, straight. I went for the thing and they sent me my letter before I finished youth service. And I've worked at that company for the past 17, 18 years now.
You are saying that's how you got your job?
I got my job.
Okay, we live in a society where people hear stories like this and they say it's connection now, that you can't get jobs in good places except you have connection. And they underplay that very word that they are saying, that connection, because it seems like it's partiality or it's unfair. But the fact that you just explained that very connection, which is relationship that you nurture, can just be the stairway to go somewhere. Because it's going to be abnormal for two people who have qualification for something. And I know one person then I go and give the person who I don't know.
Yeah.
Two people are both qualified for something. I'm going to give the person I know to do the job.
Yes.
There's no point thinking that people play games to get places where we don't nurture our relationship. So it's going to, which makes me want to ask now, how, outside of that relationship you just mentioned now, because something led to you missing that person in the first place. How have you been able to nurture a relationship over the years that have led you to, relationships that have helped you, moved you from one place to another financially like that? What have you done practically?
Okay, so one thing with relationships is that you have to oil them. It's a two-way street.
Okay.
Right? You can't just out of the blue expect something from another person. Yeah, it's give and take.
Okay.
A lot of times, and that's why you see that when people have courted significantly over a period of time before getting married, you find out that there's some sort of understanding that has developed. Not to say that marriage will last forever, because some of them don't.
Okay.
But you see that it is easier, and then people can really tell where you're coming from. If you have dated a girl maybe for, 5-6 years, trust me, you know that person better than somebody you just met and 2 months time you got married to the person.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Now, it's not as if you're not going to continue knowing the person and finding out new things as you're peeling different layers. But the truth is, the more you nurture a relationship, and it is both ways, you find out that you stand a better chance of making something out of that relationship and it benefiting your life and the life of the other person, than if it is just a one-time encounter. So that's why it's important to nurture relationships such that you don't, or you benefit in the long run from them.
Okay, so I was reading the book again recently, and in chapter 5, you were trying to explain the reasons how people should use money, the mindset they should use in approaching money.
Okay.
And one of the things you mentioned was the networker mindset. And from what I got from the book was, you're supposed to use the little money you have to service relationships you have that helps you grow and expand more.
Yeah.
Can you just explain a little bit about that kind of mindset and how it connects with people making money?
Okay, so the networker mindset is very different from the typical hustler mindset, because a lot of times people mistake both of them. They're not the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, the hustler is trying to get money by any means possible. He will do anything possible to get money.
Money.
Now, the networker, on the other hand, is somebody who sees the bigger picture, is playing the long game, and realizing that people who have resources are primarily looking for people who have value.
Okay.
A rich man does not want to buy a cup of coffee that he knows is 30, or let's say in our context now, maybe 2,000 naira coffee, for example. He doesn't want to buy it for 10,000 naira because he knows the price. And he wants quality because of his status, right? So you have to be that kind of person that understands the needs of people and reach out to them at the point of their need. Once people see you as a go-to person for value, they already connect with you. But when they sense that all you're here for is to take, it's a massive turn-off for people that have resources. So always position yourself as somebody who is valuable, who can give something, a need, meet a need, give a skill, exceptional skill, provide a service, exceptional again. That way, you would be a networker, or what I would call a magnet to pools of money, because these pools of money reside with people. That's just the truth.
Okay.
So you will now be like a magnet to that pool of money, because you have that ability to meet needs and identify not just general needs, perceived needs. Something that might be a need to you might not be a need to some other person.
Yeah,
you understand?
Yeah.
So you have to identify this person. I'm having a relationship with this person. Before I go and start asking for things, what does this person need that I know I can deliver? That way, once you meet that need, if that person is looking for that thing again, guess who is going to be thinking about?
Back to you.
It's you. So that's how it works.
Back to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say, just to clarify a little bit further for our listeners, is that people always feel like money is far away, like it's hard to get, but yet we all have people around us. We live with people. There are people in our environments. There are people in our locality, and all those people have need. If we're cautious enough to even build a relationship that allows us to find out what their needs are, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hello, welcome to D26 Production. We are professionals of video coverage. We do video coverage, documentaries, live streams, and today we are handling AY Live Show, the Independence Edition. So call us for all your live streams, your video coverage, your films, your music, documentaries, and you can contact and follow us at Talabi Daniels or at D26 Production.
Welcome back. We're talking about wealth and ties, and we have a special guest today who is he's a wealth coach, because he coaches way more than how to make money. Making money is one thing, sustaining money is another thing, investing and multiplying your money is a whole different ball game, and he covers all of that very well. But like we're saying, do you have any personal experience or that you can share with our viewers that they can relate with a little bit more of relationships, maybe one or two, that you have nurtured over the years that have brought in wealth to you, even monetary value?
Okay, so I think the first one I gave was how I got my job.
Yeah.
I mean, that one has brought a lot of money to me because I've been working there for like 18 years.
Yeah.
So I've gotten quite a lot of money out of that relationship. But beyond that, I think another relationship that I've had is basically I started dabbling a long time ago into cryptocurrencies. And one thing led to another. I was introduced to a group. And in that group, I met a guy. Of course, I've never seen him, but it was in a WhatsApp group. But we've been talking on the group, and he just liked maybe what I was saying or something, and he tried to engage me. Now, this guy is a white guy. And once I was complaining on the group that I had lost some money trading. And he pulled me aside in a private conversation, and he told me that like he really is fascinated by how I trade. How long have I been doing it? I just started. It's like he can't really believe it because he has been a veteran. He had been on Wall Street for years. He has retired. He now manages his own fund. And that the kind of gains I made and posted, that he has never seen that kind of thing for somebody who was like a newbie. But that there were some mistakes I was making as a rookie. And so he tried to coach me. So he told me he would give me a 1 hour, then I don't think it was Zoom, I can't remember which of the platforms, session. And so I entered a small cubicle and I took that session with him. And he was just putting me through on what to do and all of that. And was telling me that, look, he has been in this game for a long time, that there you make losses and that's how you learn. But one thing he told me that really moved me from the level I was to where I currently am now in my thinking, because whatever you cannot think about,
Yeah,
you can't do, forget it. You can't achieve it. The guy showed me, he sent me receipts, not just talking. He told me that he took a trade, and in one trade, he lost $20 million. He sent me the receipts of the loss. And then that because he told me that you needed to be cold when you're dealing with money. That you don't cry for money, because money will never cry for you. So when you are doing a trade or you're doing a business, emotionless. That's what he taught me that day. And he told me that the next time he had the opportunity, he cleaned out and he came out of the market with over $50 million. One trade. He showed me the receipts. That changed my trajectory and my perspective. And it's somebody I still fall back on once. Of course, I don't abuse the relationship, calling me every 2 minutes. But the point is, I try to nurture that relationship so that when I need it, it is there for me. And then I also ask him what he needs from me and all of that. I'm saying, oh, please, can you show me what you did with this? What was your thinking? Because to him, I can't teach him any skills. He has his skills, but maybe the perspective I bring to a particular issue is what is of importance to him. And then I try to, give that, not like I'm teaching him, but like I'm just sharing, this is what I did kind of thing. And that is one way that you can actually level up in your wealth creation, financial. Find people who are way ahead of you and then begin to talk to them. Bring yourself down, humble yourself and talk to them and listen. Don't talk too much. Listen when they are talking to you, because they have the wealth of experience. You don't. You soak in as much as a sponge, and then that will help you along your journey.
Okay, so in your journey now, because just using from this experience, the person is giving to you and you're also finding a way to give back to the person. How do you speak to people who just have the perception or mindset that they just want to keep taking? This is one of the challenges with relationship growing and nurturing. How would you say you want to help them with such mindset of, you're just taking?
So the truth of the matter is, if you have that mindset of a taker, you have been taking, how far has it gotten you? So I always tell people, you need to pause and think through your relationships, your experiences, and then do an analysis. This thing I've been doing like this, how is it helping? What has it brought for me? If it's good, then continue doing it. If it's not good, then you need to pause and say, no, I need to address this issue and take a different. You can't do the same thing over and over again and you expect that a new result to happen. It's not possible. So you need to take stock. Always first things first, take stock of your relationships. And I always ask people to do this exercise for themselves. Write out the list of maybe the 10, 20 most influential people in your life, right? And on every one, quickly put a plus or a minus. Is this person a taker or is this person a giver? Does this person add to my life or does this person take away from my life? Do that analysis. You'll be shocked with what you come across. You see that out of your list of 10 or 15 or 20 people, you might just have like 4 or 5 givers. The rest are takers. Then you now see, why did you in a split second call this person a taker? Why did you call this person a giver? What stood out for you to put a plus on this one and minus on this other one? Okay. Then ask yourself the same question. Let's assume somebody was to write your name on a list. What are they going to call you?
Are you a giver or a taker yourself?
Then you take the adjustment. So I always like self-reflection. That helps you better. If you set time out to reflect on your results over time. So that it can make you a better person. Then, of course, you can now start looking for people that can help you and all of that. But first, you must do the assessment for yourself.
Okay, so I like to also speak as to people who have gotten bumped in financial relationships. They've trusted people. They thought this person will help them. Or people who have even gotten into relationship that involved money blindly, without even having any intelligence as to, okay, are they supposed to be agreements? Are they supposed to be contracts? And now, they're just feeling like, whatever that involves money and relationship, those two sentences don't go together anymore.
Yeah. So there's something. Let me give a small story. I remember a family member called me. He said, I want us to do well in our extended family. You're a money person, I know a bit. Let's come together. Let's put something together so that we can all do well. So I asked him a question. Okay, it's a very good idea. If all of us come together and we do this thing, let's say this person does not honor their bit, what happens? I generally will not do business without something written down. Because the truth is, we forget a lot of times. It's a human thing. To forget is human. And even the Bible tells you, or in Christian circles, Jesus said something. He said, it is written. There's a reason why he says it's written. Because whatever is not written,
You can refer to
it's not real. You can't refer to it. It's not real. So you have to write something down. Very important. And then also, I like, even though now I'm a bit softer, I used to love to do business with people I can arrest. If I can't arrest you, you will just tell me, because you've been burnt a few times. You do something to a church brother or friend or whatever, you just walk away. And you learn a lesson. Okay. You know, but once the other party knows, I can be arrested, see, they tend to sit up more. Okay. You understand? Okay. But beyond that, it's not all about arresting and all that. But the point is, you have to take the right steps, and at least, at the barest minimum, have something written down, so that it will jog your memory in case you forget. Yeah.
So, if you're going to give like 3 simple steps that will help people nurture the relationships they have, that will help them get into this decades, what will be the things you will say?
When it comes to finances?
Yes.
Okay, so I like acronyms a lot. It helps me remember things. Yeah. Okay, so I want your listeners, to remember 4 things, and the acronym for them is VEST. So for you to have a vested interest, if you have a vested interest in your finances. Yeah. The V stands for value creation. Okay? And all these things have to do with relationships. Yeah? So if you are a person that creates value, whether it be a product, a service, a skill to your employer, whatever it is, so long as it is valuable, it's perceived as valuable, and you deliver that excellently, money will be purchasing you. That's just the truth. No employer wants to lose their valuable staff. In fact, they will up your money for you if you are saying you are going. If you have the best product, for people that eat money, skippers, you just call, go there, it's finished, people are rushing. Yeah. What is there? Yes, it's value. That is perceived value. Yeah. The woman, it doesn't matter what, if they can increase the price tomorrow, people will still finish it. You understand? So that's number 1, that's the V. Then the E is efficiency. Yeah? Can you be efficient at doing what you do or delivering the service that you do? People pay for that. I called somebody a few days ago. I had done all the things I needed to do, but I forgot to buy cake for my wife's birthday. Wow. I called the person the night before. I said, bros, I'm in trouble. I need this specification of cake for my wife. Can you deliver it tomorrow morning? The guy said yes. He delivered it. I didn't ask our price. I paid the guy straight because he was efficient. Wow. Next morning, 8 a.m., he delivered the cake. I took a picture of what I wanted, sent to him. He delivered exactly. So, how efficient are you at servicing the needs of the people around you, relationships, exactly? That will draw you your money. Because that guy, no argument. I was the one that needed cake by 8 a.m. So if he told me any price, guess what? Yeah. I have to deliver. Yeah. So what was the second? I said was V, right? And then it's E. And then there's the S. Settlement. money comes when you have an ability to settle something. So you see, there are people that have issues, cases, problems, any issue that needs something to be settled, and you provide a solution for that settlement. Trust me, you're going to get paid. That's how lawyers get paid. Yeah? That's how doctors get paid. They are settling issues. If your wife needs operation now and they can settle that issue for you, guess what will happen? You have to deliver. So if you can settle issues for people, pressing issues for people, you're definitely going to make it. And then the final letter is your T. Now, T stands for time. I want to go to Abuja right now. I can go and enter Agofore and wait till they fill the bus. Or I live just next to Air Force Base now. I can call my friend who is a captain, right? And tell him, please, is there a chopper going to Lagos now? He'll get me on that chopper. I will pay maybe like 200K, 300K. I'll be in Lagos in the next 45 minutes or 30 minutes. Now, I have paid a significant premium because of the value of my time. I don't want to go and be entering queue. That chopper will land me in Victoria Island. I don't need to go to Moritala Airport. They start looking for taxi from Moritala Airport to start coming to VI inside traffic. That chopper will land on the building that I want to have a meeting. I don't know if you understand. So what are you doing that saves somebody time? Because I always tell people time is actually more valuable than money. People that understand the value of their time will trade money for their time. You know, so I think those I hope that helps.
Yeah, it does. Okay, as we're running up, I think we have 2 more questions. But so some people are so eager because for everything you have mentioned now, it has to do with people. So the money you want are in the hands of other people. So how well you are able to give them value efficiently, give them within time, you are able to get that money from them. So, but some other people don't see people, they only see money. And I think you are going to have a problem where the money is more important to you than the people who have the money to give to you. So how do you speak to people who have that kind of mindset and approach to making money?
So check it. The people that see only money and don't see people are people that are, for example, bank robbers. They only see money. They don't see people. They will waste people to get the money. Kidnappers, they don't see people, they only see money. You know? Juju priests, you know, those kind of. So there are people like that. So if you are part of those people, then there's nothing we can do for you. But we'll just pray for you. Maybe you can repent. You know, but if you really want to get money legit, why do you think your bank people will be sending you birthday message? Do you ever think about it? On your birthday, your bank will just send you one birthday message. It's mechanical, but they are trying to preserve a relationship. You know, so they understand the value of a customer. Even if you don't do anything, maybe you don't have big money, that 50 naira they are collecting from you every transaction you're doing. Go and check their bank statements. When they collect from how many people in Nigeria, it's big money. You know, so that's why they value the relationship and they keep oiling it. Some people, that text from GT Bank is the only one they will get that day. For their birthday. And they will remember that, no, GT Bank send me birthday message. Just for that alone, they will continue working with them. They won't move to another bank. So it's very important that you really nurture those relationships so that you get the best out of them.
Okay, so finally, before we go, how do you help people who need to balance professional and personal relationships? So maybe they have an individual who they both have a professional relationship with the person and the personal relationship with the person. And sometimes these lines can blur in between. How do they approach such relationships?
So I think one of the good things about relationships is that we learn as we go, right? So over time, you probably have learned what works and what did not work, what brought problem and what did not bring problem. And then it's just the onus on you now is to find out how to manage those things. So there's no hard and fast rule to that. Some of those things you have to learn as you go along. But generally, what I would like to say is that people need to define boundaries.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we have a personal relationship. We also have a financial or professional relationship. What are our boundaries? You know, a lot of people don't like talking about boundaries. Yeah, you know, like it's not a comfortable discussion. You know, so but what are our boundaries? Where can we not go? What can we not cross?
Okay.
If you define those things earlier on, and I always say it's good to define it when everybody's still smiling. It's not when something has happened that you now start telling them this is your boundary. This is your boundary. We're happy now. We are eating. We are drinking. Bros, oh boy, this kind of thing. Somebody does this kind of thing to me. Oh boy, I cannot take this kind of thing. This other one, I don't play with. We are still laughing, but we are defining those boundaries so that when the time actually comes, you know that this guy said this thing or this lady said this thing. It's easier to manage it then. Yeah. So.
Thank you very much. So I know before we go as where viewers would see you, there's something you do with your book, The Financial House, yearly. You do this read aloud session, and I know one is coming up in March again. So what is the read aloud session? What will happen is you read the book has 31 chapters. Which you read, they are very short chapters, really. In like 15 minutes, you are done with a chapter. But you get a chance to dissect the book with the author. So it's called a read aloud session because all through that month, every day, you're going to go on a call in the evening with the author, discussing each chapter of the book. So you won't just be doing this with the author alone, we're doing it with other readers of the book. So you are not just getting the words from the book from your own perspective. You are able to ask questions with the author and you are able to hear what other people are doing. Now it's going to stretch you if you've never read the book before. This will be like an opportunity for you to read the book from the beginning to the end. It's a financial book that is actually not boring. Now one is coming up in March. So I would like our author and coach to tell us, where can we find you? Where can we find your materials? Where can we find the book? How can we be a part of this read aloud that is happening in March this year?
Okay, so I like to engage people mostly on Instagram. So my handle is Swanu Money.
Okay, you find that on the screen?
Yeah, on Instagram. And then for the read aloud, the reason behind the read aloud is that I see a lot of people start books and they don't finish. And I felt like the best way for you to do it is to do it with a group of people who are, you know, you guys can feed off each other's energy and then learn together. And then now, I am also part of that read aloud, as it were. So I can explain some things that maybe you didn't understand in the book or questions you have and all of that. So it's a very rich experience. Of course, it costs me my time. I give it as a service, to be honest. If I were to charge you for it, you probably will not be able to pay for it. But as many, I think we've put about 152 people through the read aloud. It has been life transforming for them because not only have they learned, they've been able to engage, you know, with people from all around the world. The read aloud, there are people that join from Canada, from the UK, from Australia, and then of course Nigeria as well, of different parts of the country. So you now rub minds with different people from different circumstances so that you can now have a richer experience of what it is to read the book. And it happens this year, I think for now it's scheduled for March. And you just get in touch via social media. Like I mentioned, I'm very active on Instagram, and then we can connect and then see how you can be part of this if it's something that interests you.
The book I believe is still 10,000 naira.
Yes.
It's a 10,000 naira. The book is also on Amazon. It's on Amazon, yeah. So you just in case you're not in Nigeria, and you can order your copy from Amazon. Be a part of the read aloud session. Now, what happens is that you can see now I'm also wearing a shirt. This shirt is not for the read aloud session, though. But the read aloud session allows you to get into a community of like-minded people. So you won't just eventually read only this book. You'll be opportunity to read other books with other people. So it sounds like a gateway into a larger community that helps you do much more than reading books, build more connection, meet more people who want to go to places where you also want to go to, or who want to travel life's journey along the same paths, the same value, the same mindset. So you rub off each other and shape each other, and well, it's just an experience that I don't think anyone should miss, because I mean, it has just, we've been there since 4 years now. Yeah, and it's constantly been growing, it's constantly been improving, and I can tell you for sure, this might be one of the best 10,000 naira investments you do in a long time. I have to say thank you to our guest today. I hope you've enjoyed the session. Please do reach out to him, like he said, on his handle, and be able to get the book and any other engagement you ought to have with him. Thank you very much for being with us today. We hope and cherish that your relationship will always keep improving. Do have a lovely time till we see you again next time. Bye-bye.